Hello there, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of your girl, Chrisia Pepra. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you guys have had an amazing week. You're having an amazing month so far. We've just stepped into March. We are about to finish off the first quarter of the year. And I hope that either January didn't go well or February didn't go well, that this month it goes well for you. So what we're going to be talking about today is all on calling and how and why you need a lot of grace for your calling. You see, on the podcast, right, I speak a lot about sometimes about destiny, purpose, and allowing like God to kind of like lead you to like, what you're supposed to do and everything, and not to just like, be here in your head everywhere. And I have questions that people are like, oh, but how do I know sometimes like what I'm called? Because I feel like this is what I'm called to do. But every single time I feel like I found it or like, I find it, something always happens and I'm just like, oh, maybe that's not for me. And that's kind of what I want to kind of dive into. And I'm also going to tell you guys my story as well. For you guys to understand that sometimes the things you're called to do, if somebody tells you, you probably will look at them and laugh at them in your face, be like, no, that's not what I'm supposed to do. No. If somebody told me 7 years ago that you are going to have a podcast, you're going to produce it, create it, and host it, you're going to be doing this and this and this along the side, I'll look at them and laugh in their face. I'll be like, do you know who you're talking to? Do you know me? No. That is somebody you're talking about. And a lot of the times, right, even the people that that you look up to, you probably like they're already successful and everything. If you ask them like, did they always know that they're gonna be where they are? Sometimes you have an idea, you're like, oh no, you have dreams and aspirations, you have things you want to do. But most of the times, like, they'll probably tell you that I never expected to get to this part or this big. I just thought maybe it might or it might not. And then there's a lot of people who also they never like not even a day where they dreamt that they'll be doing what you're doing. And that's kind of like where my one is. So let me take it back to my story, right? I think I've kind of given you guys a little bit of this, but in other episodes, but I'm gonna go deeper today and use that kind of like, to inspire you guys and to really kind of educate you guys on why you need a lot of grace. You need God in it. You need a lot of grace for your calling. So as you know, like I do speaking and everything. When I was like, probably let's say 11, 12, you're in Sunday school and then they, or like, when you're at church, usually the children, they usually try to get the kids to like be incorporated into the church activities. And, for us, this was to us like, get us to do the announcements. Because this is for like, it's a good way for the kids to like get involved. It's not really like a, just to get them to speak, and get more thing. And they used to somehow always try to pick me. And I never could understand like, why you're picking me? Because in church, like, I was bubbly, like, I'm a bubbly person and everything, but I was not the person who's always like in the forefront of things. Like, no, it's just never been my thing. But they always try to, pick different people. They always try to pick me to like, oh, Chris is going to be doing the announcements this week, and I'm telling you, when I hear my name, the way my heart used to drop to the floor and I wouldn't even try to pick it up. No. And this was, my church, right? Most of my cousins, we all went to the same church. We all grew up in the same church and everything. So all of our moms, like aunties and everything. So sometimes my mom would be trying to like get them like, oh, get her to do it. My dad would be like, get her to do it. Because just be close to like Sunday school teachers and everything. And some of my cousins, right, they're really good, they'll pick them, they'll go to Sunday, they'll talk, they'll give a really nice, thing. And every time they'll try with me, I'll go there and I will speak so fast that the people look at me like, what the heck did she just say? Naturally, I'm already a fast talker. I speak fast. Those that are around me already know. Or if you meet me the first time, you're going to be like, yeah, she speaks very fast. Even though you guys are listening to this episode, sometimes be like, oh my God, you speak so fast. But when you've been listening to for a while and you know me and stuff like, you like, it becomes normal to you. But when I get nervous, you guys think I speak fast. When I get nervous, oh boy, it's like somebody's chasing me with a stick to hurry up and finish talking. So when I go and stand in front of the church and I'm doing announcements or we're doing something like a Christmas carol thing and they want us, they want me to lead it, the way I'll speak here, if we have aunties and uncles as well, they'll be like, what the heck did she just say? And they will never be, obviously, I understand why they did that. Obviously, they couldn't hear anything I'm saying, so it's not their fault. But they will always like come up to me later on after then, they'll kind of like trash me for it, like, kind of ridicule me, like, why are you speaking so fast? Why are you so nervous for? There's something to be ashamed of. There's something to be scared of. All your cousins are doing so well. Why are you not, kind of thing. And then it's obviously you're already nervous. You're already scared. You already don't like talking in front of people. You already don't want to be heard and everything. And then when you try, it doesn't really go well. You don't do your best. Everybody also don't even give you kind of like, oh, at least you tried, maybe next time do this better. It's more of just like ridiculing you and things like that. If which didn't help. And I don't blame them for it. It's just, just the way it is. So growing up, that's how I grew up. That's how I was. I was never somebody who, like, I'm a talker and I want to talk and I want to lead and I want to present and I want to do this. No, that wasn't me. All I wanted to do was, like, through school, I did create visual communication and creative arts and everything. So I just wanted to draw. I wanted to be in my fashion industry. I wanted to, do my creative things and just not bother anyone. Like, when I went to college, I went for arts and, like, visual communications and everything. And now I use it and everything, but then I just wanted to just do that, go into, like, a career and just, like, be incognito. For me, my whole life, I don't care for anyone to know my name. I didn't want people to know my name. I just wanted to be in my own little corner. But now, you guys are looking like, how did you get here? Now, when you look at everything I do on social media, when you look at this podcast, what do? I speak. And let me take it back a little bit, right, to tell you guys where that started from. So when I was 17, right, I went to a fashion college, yeah, and my teacher in fashion schools, anybody who's went to like a fashion uni, a creative college, right, they'll tell you that the teachers there and, like, the way they run the schools is different from, like, a regular, like, uni where, like, you have different courses going on. That it's not just creative courses. So our teachers and our uni teachers and our college teachers, right, the way they thought and the way, like, they were with us is, like, completely different. So they will ask you deep questions. They will kind of get you out of your comfort zone. And I met a teacher. He was from South Africa, right? And he was really, really big on questions. He's the person who taught me to ask questions. And when I ask questions, like, deep ones, not just, asking how you doing, no, actually, how are you feeling today? He taught me all those things. And the reason why he started teaching me, like, he told me later on, before I left, he was like, I saw you and I realized that you do not like being on the forefront. You just want to be behind. You just want to do your work, get your grades and go home. But I think there's something more to you than that. Because when I see, like, the works that you do, it seems like you come from a deeper place. I don't think you've ever asked yourself the question, like, where do I get inspiration from? So he's one who, started kind of training me, like, ask questions. Like, when I give him my work, he would literally sit me down for, like, a good 20 minutes just asking me, why did you do this? Why did you write like that? Why did you use these colors? Why did you design this? Where did this come from? Sometimes I'll be looking at him like, why you just take my work and mark it? But all those little trainings and things he gave me is what helping me now. And let's go to when I was 21. So I was 21, right? That's when, when I was 19, that's when I started my podcast. So when I was 19, I started getting into, obviously, like, just, like, learning more about different things outside of, like, what I'm used to. So learning about, different cultures, more different traditions, like, meeting new people. Because basically I went to uni. So it's like, different place. I wasn't in London anymore. So I was, like, in a different environment. I was just, like, want to just learn. So along with the learning and everything, I met different people and stuff like that. And that's when I learned about, I started learning about different cultures and stuff, and I started, wanting to know more about different things. And then that's also when I started learning about what podcast is and, speaking and everything. And I started learning that apart from just me, I love to write. That's my thing. But apart from just writing, you can also speak. So whatever it is you want to write, you can also speak it. So I think I said the story of the house in my podcast. So I started from just voice memo. So instead of just always writing like how I usually would do, just put pen on paper, I started to be more vocal. So I started to speak. So I'll get my phone, I'll just press record and voice memo, and I'll just start saying whatever it is I wanted to write, I'll just start speaking it. And that's usually how I started to, like, get comfortable with speaking. But it took me up last 2 years is when then, when I'm my boyfriend, it's like a whole lot of things that happen I can't really go into that got me to, like, where I am now. And if somebody was to tell me that you are going to have a podcast, you're not going to be behind the camera, you're going to be in front of the camera, you're going to be speaking, you're going to be sharing your story, sharing, the things you're learning in life, personal development, your faith, and all these different things to inspire other people, educate other people, empower other people on their own journey throughout life as well, it will be a lie. And let me bring how, God and spirituality into this as well. When it comes to what you want to do, whatever it is that you right now you're like, oh, this is what I want to do, it is very, very, very important that even though you might think, oh my God, I love this and I want to do this and everything, for you to consult with God first and ask him, like, what do you believe my strengths are? Because most of the times we have things that we feel like, oh, this is my strengths, what I like, this is what I love. But sometimes the things that you love is actually just hobbies. They're not actually your calling. They're just things you love, but they're not actually your calling. Because when I realized that, and how I realized that this was called to do is more personal, and it's more of like, came through revelations and things like that. But when I realized that, no, your thing is not to be behind the camera, babes. Your thing is not to be incognito and have just a quiet life like how you want. No, your thing is actually for your voice to be used across the nations. That's what God wants to do. He wants to use you as a vessel, and he can't use you just saying that thing you're going to be behind the camera. Your one is not that. And it took a lot of grace. And not grace from me, grace from God. It took a lot of grace for me to get to where I am now. Because remember when I first started, right? I just wanted to do audio. I was like, I just want to record, just post it. And I remember my friend was like, we've done that, but we're not doing it anymore. We need to get into video. And I was literally, I tell you guys, I was shitting myself when he said, let's do video podcast. I was like, where, who, what, me? No, it's okay. I'm getting there. I'm allowing my voice to do something, but my face everywhere? No. And I remember, what was it called? I think it was like a couple days after I had a dream, and a dream that I had, right? It was literally, I had like different cameras all around me, and I was like in the middle, and I was just speaking, and it was like lights, cameras all around me. And I remember when I woke up and I was like, God, you really just know how to do it, don't you? You just really can't be on my side for once. Like, you're just trying to push me out there. And I remember we went to buy a camera, and then we started. And I remember my first ever recording on camera. When I tell you guys how many blobbers I had, is actually sickening. The amount of times I had to keep repeating myself, it's like all of a sudden I forgot how to speak because the camera is on. And I'm saying all of this and taking you guys through, meet my personal journey as well, for you guys to understand that whatever it is that you're called to do, most of the times it's out of your comfort zone. It's not all the time, because some people, whatever they're called to, maybe they've been doing it since they were a child. They grew up in it, that this is their thing from since they were kids and everything. That's different. But most of the time, it's not like that for everybody. A lot of the times, it pushes you out of your comfort zone. If somebody, like I said before, if somebody even told you that this is what you're going to be doing in the next, 5 years, you will literally laugh in their face and be like, you don't know who you're talking to. So whatever it is that you're doing now, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that, you're trying to get into and stuff like that, don't always be too rigid. For me, I had my whole life planned out. And it was nothing to do with cameras and nothing to do with speaking to people. No. I had my whole life planned out. And everything was good. It wasn't like, everything was going wayward now. I was trying to find another way. No. My plan was going very well. Everything was fine. But God said, nah, this is not what I have for you. This is what you think this is what you think I have for you, but this is not what I want. This is not what I created you to come here to do. So whatever your plans are, and for me, I was flexible. I wasn't flexible like, just go. No. It took me a while for me to get used to it. It took me a while for me to, be more flexible. It took me a while to just like let go and surrender. Because with these things, you have to kind of surrender. If you try to fight your calling and try to fight what God wants to use you for, a lot of the time you see that your life is always going weird. Nothing that you throw to the wall even sticks, because it's not what you're called to do. You're just doing it because you think that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's because you love it. So I had to realize that a lot of the things I even loved before that, I felt like that was my thing, it actually turned out to just be hobbies and things that I loved and things that I can also use in day to day or, things like that. But it's not really what I'm supposed to do. So whatever you're doing now, I know a lot of young people listen to me who are like in secondary school, who are in college and things like that. Whatever it is that you think you love now, whatever you think, you're planning out everything, you're like, I want to do this, I want to be this person, I want to do here. Always allow space for God to move through you, direct you whatever it is you're doing. Don't be too rigid. Don't be too fixated on one thing, and allow him to just move. Allow him to just surrender. Always surrender and always leave everything into his hands. And whatever it is you're embarking on now, always remember to just pray a prayer that, God, if what I'm doing is not what you want for me, and it's not a life that you planned for me, please switch it up. Switch it up. I surrender it all into your hand. Just switch it up. And he will do it. He will. And when you see sometimes that, he's switching it up, it's very hard for you to always surrender. But trust me, the best thing you can do for yourself is surrendering. Because when I first started my podcast, right, at 19, and I was just doing my voice memos, at those times, right, I had the incline, do more. But I was so scared, and I didn't want to. And I only recorded 3 episodes, and I just left it. Because I had school, and I just wanted to focus on school and focus on, the plan that I had for my life. And I left it. And also going back now, I look at it and I'm like, probably that's how it's supposed to happen. Everything what kind of works out to your favor. But I was so scared, and I was like, oh my God, I've just posted this. What's supposed to be for me? But I've just posted it, created this. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's a voice thing. But what if different people hear it? What if not just my friends listen, and it goes to somebody in America and they start listening to my voice and they know who I am. And those things used to eat me up. People just knowing me. I didn't want anyone to know me. I just wanted to be my little corner. And a lot of us tend to be like that. We're scared to be perceived. We're scared to be seen. We're scared to, for people to see our gifts and our talents and really let our star shine. So sometimes we might even dibble and dabble a little bit into our potential. We might even dibble and dabble a little bit into what we are called to do. But because of fear and just being scared to be seen, being scared to be perceived, we kind of drop it. And then we run back into our little shell. So that's just like, what I want to talk to you guys about today. That whatever you're called to do, most of the times is what most likely it might not even be what you're doing now. Sometimes too it is. But whatever it is, allow God the space for him to direct you. Always pray that you surrender everything into his hands, that you want him to direct your life, and you everything is into his hands. And don't be scared when your life is kind of like turning, it's going the other way. And don't be scared to be perceived. Don't be scared to be seen. Because if I was, continued being scared to be seen, if I kept that thing of, fear in me, I wouldn't be speaking to you right now. I wouldn't have had the impact I've had on people so far. I wouldn't, be having all these ideas and doing all these different things I'm doing now. I'll still just be, moving along with whatever it is I had planned before. And that literally be me not living in my calling or living in my truth. And that is what I have for you today. So thank you guys very much. I hope, again, all these episodes are always to inspire you, to encourage you, and to educate you. So I hope that you're able to pick something out of this that adds to your life. Even just like one thing that inspires you, that is more than enough. Don't forget that, on YouTube, you do all the shebangs of like liking, sharing, commenting, all of the things on YouTube that YouTube brings. And then if you're listening to me also on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, don't forget to subscribe as well. Leave reviews and everything. It really helps us. And that's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Mwah.